Good evening, IL family, and welcome back to your Monday night broadcast here where we talk about positive living via simple truths. It's Lady Timiel here slash Coach Timiel, and I want to welcome you all back in for another conversation as we talk about something that will inspire us, challenge us, and prayerfully help us along this week. So earlier today, I was going through, and I do, if you follow me on any of the other social media platforms, or even on the page, then you know that I like to do daily posts where I put up inspiration. Sometimes I write a little paragraph to go along with it to give you some food for thought and all of that. So as I was perusing today and creating some of the graphics, I ran across a post that spoke exactly to what it is that I wanted to talk about. And so it had doors, and all the doors pretty much were white, and there was this one door that was yellow. And the thing that came to my mind suddenly was that we only need one door. So tonight's conversation, as we have been talking about owning the outcome of our year, we have been getting conversations all around that topic. And not only, I even said it on last week, not only for the rest of this year, but I want us to begin to take on a mindset of owning the outcome of our life. And that does not mean that we go against the will of God, or we minimize the fact that his will shall be done in our lives, because as a matter of fact, that is exactly what we want done in our lives. But in that, God has given us a power, and a lot of times we're not living out to the expectation, out to what he has even set for us. I saw a post the other day, and a gentleman put up, it kind of looks like if you saw the floor plans of a house, and he put our vision where the floor plan was a little small floor plan, and then he put God's plan for our lives, and it was a much larger floor plan than the one that was over there, almost 4 to 5 times greater. And it's not so much, he used that, which is something that we can relate to in a material example. So it's not so much of us in the material sense of things actually being able to grasp all these things, but if that's what God wills that you have, then he knows that you can handle it. And so, but it is in the fact of, let's not minimize God. And so I definitely got excited when I thought about us only needing one door, because I know a lot of us are aiming for so many things. We're going after so many things, and we see people, especially nowadays. And when we were growing years ago, there was no such thing called social media. Most of the news that you either got it through the newspapers, you got it through the magazines that came in the mail, or you may have known somebody in your area, just one or two people here that were doing something. But now that we have social media, you see so many what we call ordinary people doing things. And really, this should give us a hope, but sometimes it challenges us in such a way to say, hey, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I not doing the things that other people are doing? And so I just want to encourage you and tell you that, it only takes that one door. It only takes that one opportunity. And this is for you guys that are huge dreamers, you guys that have the vision that God has shown you, and you're holding on to it, and you're believing God for it. It only takes that one opportunity. So I put here that it takes the right opportunity, sometimes it takes the right person, being connected to the right person. And I put, sometimes it takes us being in the right place. So I'm going to talk about a few points around this, and then we're going to close out. One of the number one things that I always say is about being prepared. So often when God has shown us the end goal, when he's shown us the vision, when he's shown us the dream, we get so focused on that we don't focus about the process that we're in. We don't focus in the preparation stage. We don't focus on getting prepared in our mindset and our heart to be able to handle it. Sometimes the picture that he's shown you, that if he handed it to you right now, you wouldn't be able to do a thing with it. So he may not have allowed you to walk through the door that would open up to that very thing that you need, because you're still in the preparation stage. You're getting prepared in your mind, your heart, because you don't know. He takes you to these great things, but there's always an ultimate plan for it. There's always something that ultimately is going to be used for his glory. But sometimes, and when when we're in our baby mindsets, all we see is the picture and, oh my, that's going to be mine. And we never are looking outward saying, okay, God, well, when you give that to me, what is going to be the next thing that you would have me to do with that? How are you going to use it to bless other people? How are you going to use me to do something in other people's lives? So we got to remember that in looking for that door to be open, we have to be prepared to be able to walk in that door. Sometimes the door is not that you don't already have the keys and he hasn't given it to you, but you just are not prepared to walk through the door in so many aspects. And then I put here position, once again, talking about mindset and focus. A lot of times, especially when we're looking out and we're looking at everything and we're allowing life and the distractions to go by. I saw a very interesting post up earlier today and I wanted to go back and find it, but I should have saved it. And it was a gentleman, he had put out kind of on a timeline how we kind of live our lives. And I'm just estimating here, but he said somewhere around, maybe up until the age 20, we're enjoying life. We're having fun. Everything is about fun and games and all of that. And some of us have taken life so seriously that we start living grown up life long before the 20s. And so therefore we miss out on some of that. And then he said probably from about age 20 to let's maybe 65, he put down some things that like are our routine. And the saddest part about it was he was like, most of us spend our lives, our Monday to Friday working and being in mundane and routine. And then he talked about those that are blessed enough to get to their 60s and their 70s and their 80s and so forth. They spend their life during that time sitting back, looking back, saying what they wish they had done when they were younger. And I don't want that to be us. So on the night, as we're getting prepared to walk through that door, that one door of opportunity that we need, we've got to be positioned. We've got to have the right mindset. We got to be focused. We got to be in tune so that when God says, you already have the keys, now just walk through that door, you'll be able to hear and be able to walk through the door. It's probably not likely going to look like any door that you expect, but if you're in tune to him, you'll be able to do that. And then the last thing that the next things I put is not the last thing. I put being flexible. I've seen this in a lot of places this week. And so it must be something in the atmosphere to remind us. But a lot of times we create plans, and I am advocates of doing plans, vision boards, all of those good things. But you got to be flexible in that, because you can get so stuck in that it's going to come this way. It's going to be this way. It's going to be with me connected to this person. It's going to be with me connected to this organization. It's going to be through this job. You can get so stuck in that's how God's going to do the thing, that when God says, I need you to go open a door that's not in that place where you think that it's at, you say, oh no, that can't be God over there, because this is the way that God said, this is the way that it was going to be. And so when he gives you the dream, when he gives you the vision, when he gives you the end goal, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to give you the whole process. So that being in tune, that being focused, that being ready to hear, spiritually in tune to know when he says, open it, turn the keys, go over this way, open this door. Sometimes the door doesn't look like it's going to get to you what you need, but it'll be the very door that you need to get you on the next step of the process. And so you got to be flexible. You got to be open to what it is. And then lastly, I put here, he knows which door. And I said this over and over tonight. He knows which doors that you should go in. He knows which door. He knows ultimately what's the ultimate door that's going to unlock. I was looking, and I can't think of his name right now. I should have wrote down these people today, but there was an actor where they talked about where he was, when he was 14, and he's a well-known actor. I can't think of his name right now. And he's in some of the popular movies, older guy now. But when he was 14, he had a stroke. I think he had a stroke or something on his face. And, when he wanted to go into acting, and they told him that he would never be able to be an actor. They told him he would never succeed. And he never gave up. At 14, he never gave up. He actually never really took a real job. He did a lot of side jobs. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just telling you what his path was. He took a lot of side jobs because he believed that he could succeed at this thing. And so he took odd jobs, and he took small parts and whatever somebody would give him until he got in the acting world. And it was years later when he got that one opportunity, that one door open. And now he is, and I'm saying was well known, and I can't even name his name, but he's well known. And the thing about it is, there's something that you have in your life. And I want to encourage you, because I keep saying own the outcome of your year. I keep pushing you to dream. I keep pushing you to do what it is that God has placed on the inside of you do. But the key to that is you got to walk through the proper doors that God God tells you to walk through. And you got to be open to when he says it, because it doesn't always look like the door that you should walk through. It doesn't always look like the next step you take. But remember, you only need one door. You don't have to walk through every single door. What I need to remind you, you don't have to try everything that you see everybody else trying. You don't have to try to walk through every door that everybody else is walked through, because each of our paths is very unique. And even though we may follow each other in some perspectives, there's something in our paths that's going to differentiate us from the next person. So I want to encourage you tonight, because when you try to walk through every single door, you will drive yourself crazy. You will waste energy and you will waste time in your life. So on the night, I want to remind you, in tune. That's the key thing. Stay in tune to him so that he can direct you. And when he says go through that door or go through that door, you be ready to go. So remember on tonight, be prepared, positioned, and be flexible so that you can move and walk through the door. It's only going to take one door to get you to where God has already promised you that he would take you. I hope that this has been encouraging to you on the night. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Have a blessed and wonderful evening. And I hope you'll tune back in next week with me as we have another conversation about positive living via simple truths. Good night.